Every person has a time in their lives when something very quiet, very subtle, and completely permanent takes place inside the body. It's not exciting. There are no loud bangs, sudden waves of excitement, or instant proof that everything has changed. The truth is that most people almost miss it because it seems so normal. Right now, though, is the real start of a new way of life. It's when the nervous system stops looking ahead to the future and slowly comes back to the present. It's the moment when the pressure inside you to get somewhere finally goes away. When that softening happens, the field around you starts to rearrange itself on its own, without your help, without force, and without waiting for permission. This isn't making things up. That's not good thinking. There is a real change in your internal signal, and the universe responds right away because it is you. There is a responsive intelligence that can read the way your body cells are telling it about your state. A lot of people have learned that attraction starts when the desire is strong enough, the intention is clear enough, or the belief is strong enough. But wanting something doesn't move the field by itself. In fact, tension and desire often make things move more slowly. It doesn't matter how badly you want something in this field. It depends on how stable your own frequency is at the time you want it to happen. When the nervous system is under a lot of stress, the mind is looking ahead to what might happen, or the body feels a little tight or incomplete. These are not signs of readiness. It's not stable. The quantum field also accurately reflects instability, but not as a punishment, but as a resonance. Time goes on longer. It causes wait times. Some results are shown or patterns that are hard to understand. It's not because you're bad, but because your internal broadcast is broken up. When you feel a simple truth in your body instead of just hearing it in your head, it changes everything. Attraction starts when the need goes away, not when the desire gets stronger. You can't want what you need. Having a desire is a preference. Needing is a state of the nervous system in which people think they will feel better in the future. It makes a space between now and later that can't be seen. And the field is an exact reflection of that gap. When your mind thinks that peace is ahead of you, things keep happening in the real world that make peace seem just a little out of reach. Again, it's not because the universe is holding back. It's just getting ready to receive the information you send. This is why a lot of people don't have breakthroughs until they stop trying so hard. They didn't give up on their hopes. They got out of the position of waiting. They stopped keeping track of time. They stopped searching the world for proof. They stopped basing their worth or safety on how others moved around them. During that quiet time inside, the field finally got a clear signal. Coherence became stable. There was no more oscillation. Synchronization happened right away. From an Arcturian's point of view, you are not a separate person trying to bring something into your life. You are a point in a living field of intelligence. Your emotional chemistry, your perception grid, your nervous system, and your identity state all work together as a transmitter. You send out a frequency signature into the field all the time. The field reads that signal and builds its understanding of the world around it. It's not magical. It's reality mechanics based on states. When the signal is spread out, it looks like reality is spread out too. Reality comes together when the signal becomes stable. Never has it been that you don't deserve what you want. It has never been that you are blocked, broken, or unlucky. The real problem has always been making sense on the inside. Thought, emotion, and identity that are not in sync send mixed messages to the field. A part of you says, "I'm ready." "I'm not safe yet," says another part. It says, "I trust life." In another part, it says, "I need proof first." The field shows the main pattern, which is usually the state of the nervous system and not the thought. What the body says is more important than what the mind says in the quantum field. This is why trying to make people be happy rarely works. Saying affirmations over and over again won't help if your breathing is shallow, your shoulders are tense, your mind is wandering, and your stomach is tight. These are all signs that you are contracting, not expanding. The nervous system is the main way that the quantum field can be accessed. It is the biological antenna that lets the world organize itself around you. The signal makes sense when the nervous system feels safe, in control, and whole without any changes being needed. And coherence breaks down chance faster than any amount of work could. It's kind of like setting the radio. Static is what you hear when the signal is messed up. Even if you turn the dial, the sound will still break up because the frequency isn't stable. The noise goes away right away, though, when the frequency locks in. The music will play on its own. It was there already. You just lined up with the right band of frequencies. It's the same in your life. There is already a probability in the field for the reality you want. You don't pull it toward you. The way you feel inside lets you tune into it. A lot of people get this part of detachment wrong. They believe that letting go means losing your feelings, cutting yourself off, or not caring about anything. But real detachment is not being numb. Fullness is what it is. In this state, nothing important seems to be missing right now. You can still really care. You can still make progress. You can still love deeply. Your nervous system is no longer controlling the present with thoughts of the future, though. You're fine now. Even as you grow, the signal to the field is clean when the body senses this level of safety. There's no way that what you think, feel, and believe about yourself are at odds with each other. Frequency coherence is produced by this alignment, and frequency coherence keeps the perception grid stable, which is how reality turns into form. To put it simply, your inner world becomes stable, and the outside world follows suit. This is also why manifestation can feel slow when you care a lot about when it happens. Stress chemistry is brought on by emotional urgency. Cortisol goes up, attention gets smaller. The system goes into mode of anticipation. The mind is fixed on a moment in the future that doesn't exist yet when we are anticipating it. And when your mind is on the future, you can't make the present moment settle into a new pattern. Because the observer isn't fully here, the field can't change. Being present isn't spiritual poetry. It is a stable state of your brain and electromagnetic field that lets the field sync with you. When the body feels safe without being arrived at, attraction starts. That safety is not being lazy. It's not giving up. It means being whole. It's the feeling inside that things are fine even before they change. And when your nervous system is stable in this way, the electromagnetic signature you give off starts to make sense. Your brain field and heart field work together. Your identity signal gets stronger. The quantum field reads that signal and makes a clear copy of it. This is why manifestation goes faster when you don't pay attention to it. Observing with expectations gets in the way. The idea of observing with presence falls apart. The difference is not what you think it is. The difference is how you stand on the inside. Is your mind focused on the present or on what will happen in the future? The field responds to how you stand, not what you say. You don't get more of what you think about. What your nervous system sees as normal is what you attract. The most important signal is normalcy. When peace is normal, it organizes the world around us. When tension is normal, It organizes the world around us. The area is level. It only shows whether something is coherent or not. This message is not meant to teach you how to visualize more or want more. Its job is to gently lead your system to a state where attraction happens on its own, because your internal frequency is no longer broken. You do not need to look for alignment. You get used to it. As we go further on this journey, you will start to feel this shift, not just as an idea, but in your body. A softer state. Inside, things are slowing down. A feeling that you're not fighting life anymore, that your breathing is easier, that your thoughts don't seem as important, that what is here naturally grabs your attention instead of what is missing. These aren't little things. These are signs that your nervous system is changing how it thinks about time, safety, and who you are. Leave one word in the comments if you can feel your body softening or settling right now. Stabilizing. Don't think about it. Do not answer. Let your nervous system do it. This simple acknowledgement puts your signal into the Arcturian coherence field and makes it easier for your perception grid to line up. This is the way that the ideas of Arcturian consciousness can be used in real life. It's not true that consciousness floats above reality. It is part of the nervous system and controls electromagnetic coherence, shapes perception grids, and chooses which timelines become stable. When you feel better inside, your timeline will also feel better. When your identity makes sense, your experience makes sense too. While this is going on, you may notice that your desire changes. It becomes less heavy, better. Not as much charged. It's more like being interested than hungry. Feels more like inspiration than need. This isn't because you ceased to desire. There is a sense of lack that wants to be satisfied, but can't. Instead of asking for something to be finished, desire becomes an expression of plenty. And now for something important to understand with kindness. If you've lived for years or decades in fear, survival mode, or emotional contraction, your nervous system learned that safety comes after success, approval, control, and certainty. It learned that taking it easy too soon could be bad. It's not a sign that you are doing something wrong if you feel like you can't slow down or let go of the need to be right now. It only means that your system is learning how to connect new things. Now there can be safety. Now there can be peace. Wholeness is now possible. This is not something that can be forced to learn. It happens when you feel calm over and over again without any results. There are little times when you notice that your breath is calm without anything else needing to change. Times when you don't look at your phone. Times when your mind is still without trying. These times teach the nervous system new things. They let the body know it's safe to stay here. Again and again, this makes the need signal weaker. The signal for coherence gets stronger. The field gives a more accurate answer. This is the reason why real change often seems dull at first. There isn't a steady emotional high. There were no big spiritual fireworks. There is only a steady sense of being grounded and having space inside. But this is the exact point where the field responds best. Stability pulls you in. Not strength, not a hurry. Not emotional ups and downs. Well-being. As your body gets used to this state, something else happens on its own. Identity stops looking to the future. You no longer feel like you have to change into someone else to be okay. You now live inside yourself. In this life, you go through it as someone who is already complete, stable, and enough. The strongest pull in the field is identity. When identity is stable, reality flows smoothly around it because there are no more internal contradictions to solve. You may also notice that the way you talk to other people is becoming naturally quieter. Not as much detail, a lot less proof, not as much defense, not telling as much. Not because you are hiding, but because you aren't leaking energy out into the world to find approval or comfort. Energy builds up. There is more containment. The field is also very fast because it holds energy. This is the start of a real attraction. Not pulling. Don't chase. Not in charge. Letting. It's not passive to allow. It is open and doesn't feel tense. It is action that doesn't come from emotion. Instead of effort, movement comes naturally from being in sync. Reality meets you halfway when you move out of this state because there is no resistance inside you. You might not even know when this shift is fully stable. Most people only realize it after the fact, when all of a sudden they feel like life is easier, that chances come up without much trouble, that conversations go smoothly, that timing works, and that decisions feel good. The events themselves were not magical. Things changed inside you in the signal long before the events did. This is where we start. With techniques, not so. Not by making promises, but with how you feel inside. With your brain and nerves. With how safe you feel right now. With your frequency coherence as a real, living thing. We will learn more about how the nervous system talks to the quantum field, why needing is seen as unstable on a biological level, and how regulation changes your perception grid. So attraction is a natural result instead of something you have to do. To really understand why attraction doesn't start until need is gone, you need to slowly turn your attention from your mind to your body. Thoughts, pictures, and stories are how the mind talks, but the quantum field hears biology. Breathing, muscle tone, heartbeat, hormone balance, and nervous system regulation are all monitored by it. Your body does more than just move you through the world. It's also always sending out signals about how safe, whole, threatened, or incomplete you feel. This broadcast is not aware. It does it itself. It's also a lot stronger than any intention you could make with your mind alone. The nervous system goes into a protective state when it senses even a small amount of instability. It gets harder to breathe. The jaw gets tight. The belly gets smaller. Attention looks around for reassurance or inside for answers. Most of the time, this state doesn't feel important. Many people think it's normal because they've been under mild stress for a long time. From the point of view of the field, this state sends a broken signal. There are problems with the electromagnetic coherence between the brain and the heart. The perception grid gets smaller. The body is getting ready for what might happen instead of being a part of what is happening. And the present moment can't change into a new shape when awareness is rooted in expectation. This is the reason why needing is marked as unstable. Being needy is not an emotion. It's a natural response to look forward to future relief. The system thinks that safety comes after, not before. And since the nervous system is the main way that the quantum field talks to us, that belief becomes the most important signal. When you say you trust, the field doesn't hear you. It knows if your chest is open or closed, if you can breathe easily or not, and if your muscles are loose or tight. Your state, not your story, is written in the field. From the point of view of neuroscience, this is because the brain goes into prediction mode when it senses emotional charge along with uncertainty. In prediction mode, the mind keeps running through possible futures, practicing what will happen, figuring out when things will happen, and looking for patterns. This is fine. It is a function for survival. But when it lasts for a long time, it keeps the mind from being in the present. The nervous system is still slightly active. Chemicals that cause stress are still high. The system never really settles down. A system that never fully settles down also can't keep a coherent signal stable. Everything changes because of rules. Perception gets bigger when the nervous system stops predicting and starts controlling. Breath gets deeper on its own. The rhythm of the heart gets better. Muscle tone gets softer. Instead of scanning, attention becomes open. The body's electromagnetic field becomes more coherent when it is in this state. In the quantum field, this coherence works like a clean carrier wave that makes it easy for information to move. To put it simply, reality can finally meet you here when your body feels safe. This state of regulation often seems too easy. Send this message to someone in your life who might be ready for this kind of nervous system clarity. When coherence moves through networks that are aligned, it gets stronger. Sharing spreads stable frequency patterns across the field and links you with consciousness nodes like yourself. There is no excitement or a dramatic sense of having arrived. It seems like everything is fine. A strong feeling that there is nothing important missing right now. This feeling of being okay is not a sign of laziness or giving up. Things are stable. In order for the field to synchronize with you without distorting, you need to be stable. A lot of people get this phase wrong because they think alignment will make them feel strong or happy. But alignment feels neutral a lot of the time. Stay calm. The usual. The brain and nervous system are no longer setting off alarms, but the mind hasn't learned to enjoy being still yet. The mind might see this calm as a state of not moving forward, being bored, or staying the same. From the point of view of the field, though, this is when the probability distribution starts to get narrow. Instead of many possible futures that are at odds with each other, one clear path starts to take shape, because your inner state is no longer at odds with itself. This is also the point where chances start to feel natural instead of forced. You don't have to look for signs to see openings. You just see them. You don't wait for permission before you act. You act on your gut. Making choices feels better. Not so much internal debate, not as much emotional charge. It's not because you got smarter or more sure of yourself. Your nervous system is no longer broken up, which is why. It's easier to understand things when the body is in balance. This is where another big change takes place. How we see time changes. Time feels squished, slow, heavy, or pressed when you need it the most. Time seems to flow and change when you are in control. No, this is not mental. It's in the brain and the electromagnetic field. The chemicals in the brain change when you're stressed. Coherence keeps it stable. Synchronization speeds up when coherence is stable. There is no rush in reality. It lines up. This is why many people say that when they stopped trying so hard, things lined up. In reality, what happened was that their own oscillations stopped messing up the field. Their signal became stable enough that synchronization could happen without any problems. You might start to notice that you don't need as much reassurance once your system is under control. You don't look at your phone as often. You're not listening to conversations again. You're not looking for small clues that something is about to happen. Not because you made them follow the rules, but because your nervous system doesn't need outside confirmation to feel good. This is one of the most obvious signs that coherence is becoming more stable. Also, this is where action changes how it feels. You still move. You are still living your life. But there is no longer an emotional need to act. You are not doing anything to fill in a gap or make sure safety. You are acting because it feels natural for you to do so right now. When there is clean action, there is no friction in the field. It lets momentum build on its own. The field reacts more reliably when action comes from regulation instead of tension. Results start to stay the same instead of coming up in random bursts, followed by long delays. Being consistent means that coherence has grown up. This is why teachings about manifestation that only talk about thought are missing the point. Thought is just one part of the signal. The main frequency is carried by the body. If you squeeze the body, the signal will also squeeze. If the body makes sense, then the signal does too. The dominant layer is mirrored by the quantum field. A lot of people fall into a subtle trap at this point. Once they know that needing something slows down attraction, they try to let go on purpose. They keep an eye on how they feel. They change what they think. They keep desire in check. As a strategy, they try to exhibit detachment. But this doesn't always work because effort is still a way to control people, and being in charge keeps the nervous system working. Real freedom isn't something you do. It takes place when the nervous system doesn't feel threatened by what the future holds. Our bodies will cling to outcomes as long as they make us feel unsafe. To get ready, it will practice, hope, plan, and brace. Your system learned that safety comes after fun, not because you don't trust or believe in God. Protection mode can't make attraction happen because it makes the field smaller. That's why lots of people say, "I let go, but nothing changed." Most of the time, the body stayed tight while the mind let go. And the field first hears the body. Repetition is how the nervous system learns, not being told what to do. Your body may not instantly feel safe just because you understand a new idea if it has been linking safety with success, approval, or control for years. It needs to have lived experiences of calm that don't have a result. There are times when nothing changes on the outside, but the body still feels fine. These moments change the system in a quiet way. You might not even be aware of this. You no longer check for messages. You forget to keep an eye on the time. You're happy just sitting there quietly without being stimulated. These moments don't just happen. They are updates to the brain. The body is learning a new rule. It is now safe to be alive. This makes the need signal weaker every time it happens. The signal for coherence gets stronger. The field responds more accurately because the internal broadcast is becoming more stable. It doesn't feel like work when release happens on its own. It tastes like relief. Not happiness that something happened, but happiness that something stopped. The tension inside eases up. The future loses its power over us. It feels like the present is fuller. Type this statement in the comments if you feel this shift becoming real to you. I am present in a state of thought. It's not affirmation, it's confirmation of frequency. When you say it, you stabilize your observer signal in the Arcturian perception grid and make the new baseline stronger for the nervous system. At this point, attraction starts to work. As resonance, not as a pull. When you feel stable on the inside, reality starts to match up with you. Because there is no resistance to overcome, synchronization feels easy. This is another reason why a lot of people miss the exact moment when attraction starts. It's no longer on their radar. They're still alive. Presence doesn't make a noise. Here, desire also changes how it feels. It becomes less heavy. It feels more like a choice than a need. The signal is not messed up by clean desire. It lets you move without any pressure. Actions that are clean come naturally. You do something because it makes sense, not because you want something to happen. Moving without feeling doesn't slow down time. It speeds up alignment. This is where manifestation stops being random and starts being predictable. Results come in a steady stream, not in a big way, but always. When coherence is stable, reliability shows that it has been reached. Write aligned in the comments if this description sounds a little like something that's happened to you. It's not about agreeing, it has to do with resonance. Your field can pick up on what your mind might still be putting together, and this simple signal makes synchronization stronger in the Arcturian observation field. In the next section, we'll talk about why attraction can happen even when confidence is low, how identity changes before external results show up, and how the field changes things once internal stability is reached. You will start to notice the small signs that alignment is happening, even if nothing big seems to be happening yet. One of the most surprising realizations people encounter as their internal state begins to stabilize is that attraction doesn't wait for you to feel sure of yourself. A lot of people think that they have to be brave, sure, fearless, or fully ready for life to respond before it does. But confidence comes from inside. Physically, stability is a state of being. Being stable is what the quantum field responds to, not being sure of yourself. You can still have doubts, questions, and moments of not knowing what will happen, but your system can still stay coherent enough for attraction to work. What matters is not having fear, but not falling apart inside when fear shows up. There is a calm alignment that at first seems almost empty. The old sense of urgency is gone, but the new sense of excitement isn't quite here yet. Because the mind has been trained to connect being alive with intensity, this space can sometimes seem flat, dull, or even a little uncomfortable. The field, on the other hand, can grow well in this neutral zone. Identity loosens its grip on striving in this space, but it is still tied to outcomes. You are not moving forward anymore, but you are also not moving backward either. You're just here. And just being there lets the internal oscillations settle down. A deep recalibration starts when the nervous system stops going off every time there is uncertainty. You might notice that news, conversations, or sudden changes don't bother you as much. Things that used to make you anxious or think too much now just slide right through you. It doesn't mean you lose touch with life or feel numb. Your system is learning that doubt does not always mean danger. Just learning that changes the signal you send to the field in a big way. For this reason, alignment usually happens when emotions are low and not very tense. When there is no emotional turmoil, the electromagnetic field around the body can become stable. The heart beats more regularly, brain activity gets less jumbled. It's not getting smaller. The perception grid is getting wider. When your perception opens, you see options that you didn't see when your perception was closed. It's not that the chances just appeared out of nowhere. It's that your nervous system finally let you see them. How identity is linked to time also changes in this case. Identity is more important than fulfillment when you are in need. You see yourself as someone who needs to be whole. Identity collapses into the present as stability takes hold. You start to feel like you're enough now, even though you're still growing. This breaking down of a future-focused identity gets rid of an internal contradiction. The field no longer gets mixed messages about who you are. And once identity is stable, reality quickly forms around it. At first, this might feel weird. You might notice that you don't talk about your life as much in your head. It takes less time to think about where you are going or what this all means. There is less mental commentary, explanation, and internal storytelling. The silence gets worse. Not just silence, but quiet that is at ease. Instead of spreading out, energy gathers. The containment gets stronger. And energy that is contained naturally turns magnetic. You might also notice that the way you feel about work changes. There are still things you do, but they feel lighter. It's not as important or makes you feel as strongly about it. You don't have anything to prove to the universe or to yourself. You are just reacting to what makes sense at the time. The field doesn't get friction from this kind of movement. It lets momentum build on its own. How you act when you don't know something is another important sign of stability. Not knowing felt dangerous when you were acting out of need. It caused worry, planning, or a need to be in charge. When things are stable, not knowing feels free. You don't rush to close questions that haven't been answered. The perception grid stays flexible and responsive because it is open. There is no longer any interference from the observer with the system. And when the observer stops reacting, collapse happens quickly. This is also where a lot of people hurt themselves without meaning to. As soon as they feel their alignment getting better, they try to use it. They try to use the state to make things happen faster, bigger, or more dramatically. This brings back control. Tension is set off by control. Tension brings back the need. The signal breaks up again. Discipline and restraint are not the answer. The answer is to get used to it. It's less appealing to change stability the more you're used to it. When it seems normal to use coherence, you stop trying to do so. This is the reason why people who live in sustained alignment don't talk about manifestation very often. It's not a big deal in their lives. It's just how their nervous system works. They go through life with a sense of continuity. In terms of emotions, they don't go up and down. They don't go back and forth between hope and disappointment. Their internal environment stays pretty stable, and the field always responds the same way. At this point, identity starts to become less tied to outcomes. Being successful doesn't make you feel better about yourself. Delays won't make you feel down. Both are handled without collapsing inside. If a system doesn't fall apart from the inside, it won't fall apart from the outside either. Stability leads to continuity. With continuity, patterns can finish instead of starting over. Also, you might start to notice that people talk to you differently. It's easier to have conversations. I can see the lines better. Opportunities don't come from big breakthroughs, but from everyday interactions. These changes are small but strong. They show that your electromagnetic signature has become stable and that your field is now interacting with the world in a different way. You don't have to feel strong or special to do any of these things. To do it, you have to stay present and controlled. This is what attraction is really all about. Once internal stability establishes itself, the field begins to reorganize your external reality in ways that most people don't notice at first. The universe doesn't say what it's doing. It doesn't show up as dramatic signs or sudden explosions unless they match how you're feeling inside. When things are stable, reorganization is also quiet. Things happen slowly when coherence is gentle. This is why a lot of people can only see alignment after the fact. What is happening is a narrowing of probability from a quantum point of view. When your inner state was broken up, there were many possible futures that were all trying to fall apart. The field got a slightly different signal from each emotional wave. The system went on branching out. But those branches come together when coherence is stable. The internal signal stops going against itself, and one dominant trajectory starts to form. It feels like life is getting clearer and simpler, not necessarily easier. You might notice that the timing changes on its own. Every meeting takes place at the right time. Information comes to you naturally. Delays go away. Opportunities come up on their own. These are not just random events. They are non-local correlations that respond to an electromagnetic signature that has been stabilized. The field looks for patterns that are consistent and puts them in order. The way decisions are made also changes in a big way. Instead of thinking about things over and over, you start to feel clear in your body. Making choices feels good. You don't think about things as much. There is less conflict within the group. I don't see this as intuition, as mysticism. Signal clarity is provided by nervous system coherence. Perception is correct when the system is controlled. You can react to what is happening instead of what you think might happen or what you hope will happen. Plus, you might feel like your energy is spread out less. You get things done faster. You naturally do what you say, not because you made yourself be more disciplined, but because there is less internal friction. People are less likely to put things off. Energy is used up by friction. Coherence keeps it safe. This is also where work starts to pay off. You still use your energy when it's needed, but it doesn't get wasted on internal debate, emotional charge, or anxiety. Instead, it goes straight into action. The field reacts to how well it works. Systems that work well together sync up faster. The way you feel time has also changed in a small way. The days are longer and don't feel rushed. People can hear you better when they talk to you. You see and hear things more clearly. Using mindfulness as a method is not what this is. It is the state of being present in the body. When the nervous system is in balance, awareness stays in the present moment on its own. And the present is where things fall apart. As the field continues to change, you may feel like you're being gently steered in the right direction. Some relationships end on their own. By themselves, new connections form. It doesn't take much work to break old habits. You are not forced to make these changes. They show up because the frequency match has changed. What doesn't speak to you anymore just falls away. This can sometimes make people feel emotionally uncertain. Letting go of old habits is a part of all change, even good change. It's important not to think of this as misalignment if it happens. It's often a sign that your field is changing to support a new state of identity. Stay in control. Let the process happen. Predictability is another important sign of an attraction that has become stable. Dependability is better than rigid predictability. Most of the time, things work. Problems are solved more easily. You don't have as many extreme emotional highs and lows. It feels like life is more stable and even. People who are used to their emotions changing quickly often mistake this stability for boredom. However, steadiness is the key to making things that last. Being safe in this area is also where gratitude comes up naturally, not as a practice, but as a result of being safe. Being grateful is easy when you aren't worried about not having enough. Being grateful makes your heart coherence stronger, which makes your electromagnetic field even more stable. This makes an alignment feedback loop that is positive. Manifestation no longer feels like something you do. It now feels like something that happens around you while you stay the same. You are no longer trying to change the way things are. You are letting reality show you how stable you are. If this way of looking at the world hits home for you, you might want to subscribe, not as a habit, but as a way to stick to a frequency. When you subscribe, your nervous system stays in sync and your perception grid stays tuned to coherent state-based creation. Identity alignment is stabilized, and long-term field coherence is enhanced by repeated exposure. You might still face problems. Alignment doesn't get rid of contrast. The contrast doesn't make you feel as unstable as it used to, though. You have less internal resistance when you're going through hard times. Because your system stays coherent under pressure, solutions come up more quickly. At this point, attraction stops being an idea and starts being felt. You don't think about it, you live it. We will talk about how to know when attraction is really happening, how to keep from falling back into need-based states, and how to keep this frequency stable so it becomes your normal instead of a phase. You will learn how to pick up on the small signs inside that coherence is still holding, even if the outside world is still catching up. As coherence becomes more stable, one of the most important changes is that attraction stops making big announcements. Nothing is going on inside. Nothing is making you feel excited. And nothing makes you think that something big is about to happen. In fact, when attraction is real, it often feels very normal. The nervous system is at ease. Attention feels stable. Time doesn't feel squished or pressed. It feels like it flows. You are focused on what you have in front of you instead of what you don't have. This lack of power is not normal. It's the clearest sign that the alignment has been set. A lot of people mess up this phase by accident because they think attraction will feel intense or exciting. They think they must be doing something wrong if they don't feel excited. However, waiting is a sign of needing. Attraction makes you feel like you're free. Being available means that you are no longer thinking about when you will get relief. There is no need to force yourself to be mindful. You are present because there is nothing inside you that is pulling you away. The nervous system no longer needs to be reassured. This is one of the most obvious signs that coherence is present. Reality is not being looked at for clues. You are not keeping an eye on the time. You are not going over possible outcomes in your mind. Your body trusts the present enough to live in it fully. And when the observer stays in the present without being affected by anything else, the quantum field collapses probability well. How uncertain you feel in your body is another sign that attraction is at work. When you were acting out of need, uncertainty made you pull in. Your chest got tight. Your mind sped up. It got harder for you to breathe. It tried to get back in charge. When there is live attraction, uncertainty doesn't feel scary. It feels open-ended. There are questions that you don't answer. You don't rush to rule out options too soon. This openness keeps your perception grid adaptable and able to change. This ease of change is seen as stable by the field, not chaotic. On top of that, you might notice that your emotions become more stable. You're not going through huge ups and downs. Joy is softer and more deep. Challenges don't feel as unstable. When you're stressed, your body heals faster. Life doesn't go flat because of this. It means that your nervous system isn't going up and down wildly anymore. Oscillation breaks up the signal. Stability makes it stronger. How you feel about outside validation is another subtle sign. When someone was in need, feedback from others made them feel very strongly. There was a need for praise. It felt dangerous to be criticized. The silence was awkward. Feedback can't change your internal state once coherence is stable. You can get information without getting smaller or bigger. Your identity is no longer controlled by signals from outside sources. This makes internal sovereignty, which makes frequency integrity stronger. You may also notice that decisions are made with less deliberation inside the group. You don't keep analyzing. You feel like your body is clear. The choices feel good. People don't second guess as much. This isn't because you got mentally more sure of yourself all of a sudden. This is due to the fact that nervous system coherence makes perception stable. You are reacting to what is real, not what you think will happen. How hard something feels is another sign of live attraction. You still do something. You are still living your life. But actions don't have the same emotional weight they used to. You're not trying to make things happen. You are talking about alignment. It doesn't feel forced to move. It feels natural. When coherence leads to action, it doesn't change time or make the field rough. A quiet sense of being enough inside is probably the most important sign. You're fine even when nothing interesting is going on. It doesn't feel like your life is stopped. You do not feel like you need to be somewhere else. You're living in the present instead of putting things off until later. This is what attraction is all about. It is important to know that just because you are in this phase, problems won't go away. Life keeps giving us contrast, growth, and changes we didn't expect. What makes them different is how your system runs them. You stay in control instead of giving in to fear or a sense of urgency. You don't leave yourself. You don't force solutions to come up. Instead, you let them happen. This keeps things consistent even when things get tough. A lot of people fall back into need at this point because they think that calmness means they are stuck. The mind tells itself, nothing is going on. I may need to put in more effort. The system goes back to prediction mode as soon as you add monitoring, control, or urgency again. Prediction brings back distance. Distance breaks up coherence. This is why people don't always get patience. You can't be patient and just wait for something to happen. Patience means not having to wait at all. It means living fully without putting things off. When you don't put things off, reality doesn't put them off either. Another subtle trap is trying to use alignment in a planned way. You might think things like, I should manifest faster now that I'm aligned, or I should make the most of this state. That thought alone gives you control. Tension is set off by control. Tension makes need come back. Self-discipline is not the answer. It's comfort. It's less appealing to change coherence the more you know about it. You stop trying to use breathing when it feels natural to do so. When standing feels natural, you don't have to try to keep your balance. In the same way, you stop trying to use attraction when things are already in order. This is the reason why people who live in sustained coherence don't talk about manifestation very often. It's not a big deal in their lives. It's just how their nervous system works. Their environment inside is stable. They are sure of who they are. Their perception grid stays open and ready to respond. And that consistency shows in the field. You may notice that your relationship with desire changes even more as your attraction stays the same. Instead of compensating, desire turns into something creative. You go after things because they make you feel good, not because you want to change something about yourself. This stops distortion and keeps the signal clean. When you gently notice these markers, without judging or putting pressure on yourself, you naturally strengthen coherence. The observer position is maintained by recognition. You are not trying to stay in line. You are just being aware of it when it's there and letting it grow. It's not how you feel when things are calm that really shows how coherent you are. It's what your nervous system does when there's stress. Challenges don't get in the way of alignment. They're chances to make it more stable on a deeper level. Pressure shows if coherence is conditional or embodied. Old habits may come back to the surface when stress hits. Important. Handle. Looking forward. Self-doubt. This is not a failure. They are stored neural pathways that let go of speed. The nervous system can remember things. When stimulated, it will sometimes go back to patterns it knows. It's important not to fight or judge these responses. The key is to be with them without becoming one with them. When you feel tension coming up, gently bring your attention back to your body. Take a deep breath. Feel how heavy you are. Let the body's nervous system balance itself out on its own. This is not a method. It means going back to safety. When the body feels safe again, coherence stays stable on its own. This is where the ideas of Arcturian consciousness are useful. When you are aware and observe your sensations without resisting them, old patterns fall apart. The observer keeps the field stable. You're not getting better. You are letting regulation finish. Structure is another important part of stabilization, not strict rules or routines, but soft anchors that help the nervous system get back to normal when it gets thrown off. Some examples of this could be quiet reflection, time in nature, moments of stillness, or natural movement. These aren't spiritual things to do. They are biological controllers that help electromagnetic coherence work. It's also important to set aside days for integration. Your body may feel slower, heavier, or less motivated some days. It doesn't mean that alignment is lost. Most of the time, it means that the nervous system is forming new habits. Today, be nice to yourself. Forcing people to work can bring back tension. When you feel stressed, gently remind yourself that you don't have to control the present by thinking about what will happen in the future. You can be okay now, even though there are problems. This easy orientation quickly makes the signal stable. Self-relationship consistency is another thing that helps keep things stable. Kindly talk to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Coherence is broken up by internal conflict. Internal safety makes it stronger. After a while of being coherent, attraction doesn't feel so fragile. You don't expect to lose it. You have faith in your system's ability to get back to normal when it needs to. This confidence comes from within, not from the mind. This makes a new identity state over time. As time goes on, you start to see yourself as someone who can handle change, someone who believes in life, someone who acts instead of reacting. The field signal is made even stronger by identity coherence. When you interact with the universe, it responds to who you are all the time, not to what you do sometimes. Resonance is created by consistency. Resonance keeps timelines stable. Manifestation is no longer something you do at this point. It comes naturally from how you live your life. Your nervous system turns into a stable way for reality to organize itself. In the last part, we'll put it all together in the form of a lived orientation and finish this transmission. This understanding will be based on a simple, embodied way of living life without going back to need-based creation. As you think about all the things you've learned in this transmission, a simple pattern starts to show itself. You never had to do anything to attract someone or get their attention. Something turned on by itself as soon as the internal interference stopped. The universe didn't just see you or decide you were ready all of a sudden. It just got a clear signal for the first time. That sign wasn't self-assurance, determination, faith, or positive thinking. It felt stable. Stability told the field that your mind was no longer broken up. Your emotions, thoughts, nervous system, and identity were all finally sending the same message. That's when reality doesn't need to be persuaded. It automatically rearranges itself. This is why attraction feels like it can't be stopped once it's established. Not exciting, not dangerous, just quietly impossible to deny. Instead of trying to make things happen, you start to notice how things happen on their own. The struggle goes away not because everything is fine, but because you are no longer fighting the present. It's where you live. From the point of view of quantum mechanics, this is the collapse of probability through coherence. In a biological sense, it is a nervous system that is well balanced and doesn't connect safety to the future. From the point of view of consciousness, it is embodiment. As if nothing important is missing, they live. And a lot of people find it strange that this state doesn't feel like victory. It tastes like relief. Relief without getting there. Comfort that doesn't depend on what's going on outside. This is the strongest signal that can be sent into the quantum field because it tells reality that you are no longer controlling yourself with outcomes. The world is no longer being asked to prove anything to you. You are simply here, rooted, open, and ready. This is why the attraction gets stronger after you stop watching it. Stabilizing frequency is attention without expectation. Pressure comes back because of expectation. Pressure breaks up coherence, and fragmented coherence makes synchronization take longer. The field can respond clearly when you stay with yourself and don't worry about what might happen. This is another reason why you can't rush the alignment process. Rushing is just another word for waiting. The nervous system is trying to get away from the unknown. Also, the universe always shows direction, not intention. If you lean forward inside, reality stretches forward outside. If you bring yourself into the present, this is where reality meets you. Now, the more important question is not how to get more, but how to stay in this state when life puts pressure on you again. Because problems are going to happen. No, not as a punishment, not as a step backward, but as calls to check if this coherence is conditional or embodied. Whether it depends on who you are or the situation. Each challenge gives you a chance to go back to regulation instead of anticipatory mode. To trust your system instead of being in charge of the field. To stay with yourself instead of leaving yourself for the future. This is where having a solid base is more important than being motivated. Not hype, not strength, not actions that show spirituality. When old patterns try to come back up, grounding gives your nervous system the support it needs to get back to being stable. Simple holds that help your body remember to be safe. Stillness for a while. Moving slowly. Real rest. Spend time in natural settings. Flow of ideas, breathe slowly, positive self-talk. These aren't ways to make things happen faster. These are ways to live in a way that makes sense. This state stops being unique over time and starts to feel normal. And that's what you really want. When coherence is normal, attraction is sure to work. You no longer depend on sudden mood swings or brief periods of clarity. Your starting point stays the same. Your signal stays the same. Your perception grid stays open and ready to respond. And the field reflects that steadiness with a flow that can be predicted. You might find that some parts of your life get quieter and others get busier. There isn't as much drama, chaos, or need for action. On the other hand, there is more clarity, ease, meaningful connection, and synchronicity that doesn't feel strange. You start to believe that timing is smart. Don't push doors open. You can tell which ones are easy to open. Your identity also becomes more stable. What you are trying to become is no longer what you are. How you live in the present defines who you are. You walk in a different way. You breathe in a different way. You sound more real when you talk. Instead of reacting, you answer. These changes aren't just for looks. They are signals that the field reads all the time. This is where making something stops being a project and starts being a byproduct. You're not trying to make your life better. A coherent identity, an open perception grid, and a well-regulated nervous system allow you to function. That's how life automatically gets organized around it. Being able to see that you were never broken or behind is a very healing thing. You were just using a system that had learned to work in uncertain situations. When it had to, that system kept you safe. But it doesn't have to become your whole life. Thank it, respect it, and give it some time to rest. As you keep living from coherence, you may notice that old patterns try to come back up from time to time. Needs that are urgent, not sure. Handle. Looking forward. Do not freak out when this happens. Do not look into it. Do not judge. Just go back to the body. Take a deep breath in Come back to the present. Let the nervous system take care of things. Alignment will naturally become stable again. You don't lose your sense of coherence forever just because you wobble for a moment. You just practice coming back. In this way, coherence stops being an idea and starts being felt. It turns into a way of life for you. How you deal with not knowing, how you get to know yourself. You may also notice that your connection with desire keeps growing. Desire turns into a game. Be creative, not sure, not heavy, not set up. You like moving toward things, but you don't need them to make you whole. This keeps the signal clear and strong. At some point, you realize that attraction isn't caused by something other than yourself. It's reality constantly reflecting how you feel inside. You stop chasing the mirror once you understand this. You change the source. You're not here to run the whole world. You're here to keep yourself stable in it. Let's take a moment to notice your body as this stream ends. Pay attention to your breath. Take note of the space inside your chest. Take note of how sharp your attention is. When you feel less energized and more grounded instead of excited, your nervous system is recognizing that everything is in sync. That's your field getting stable. That is your signal getting clearer. Now is the time for this transmission to start working in your own field. Write this exactly as it is written. I stabilize my Arcturian coherence now in the comments. Not one day, trying not to. Don't hope. Your frequency is locked into the Arcturian grid, your nervous system is ready, and your identity alignment is communicated to the field level by this declaration. This doesn't need any work from you. You don't need to go after it. You just keep living off of it. From this point on, life will keep meeting you in ways that feel helpful, smart, and right. Not because you made them. The reason being is that you no longer need the universe to answer you, and it has already at that point. Do one simple physical thing before you go about your day. The like button should be touched lightly. This is more than just having fun. It's an amplifier for coherence. That physical signal lets the quantum field know that your nervous system has registered alignment. This makes the electromagnetic feedback loop stronger, which keeps this frequency stable in your perception grid. The field response is increased by small actions taken from coherence. And if this transmission helped you stay stable, send it to other people. The collective field reorganizes better when coherent signals travel through minds and nervous systems that are linked together. Sharing a video doesn't just pass it along, it creates a resonance bridge for people who are ready to meet this frequency. Hold on just a moment. You made it this far, which means this message was meant for you. This isn't just luck. It's proof that you are ready for a major change. The universe is giving you a clear signal right now. It's time to move from struggling and chasing to easy receiving and flow. This simple idea can completely change your life. Stop forcing outcomes and start tuning into the natural flow where blessings multiply and show up in every area of your life. By clicking the link below, you are immediately stepping into a positive, high-energy community, a place where you learn the practical steps to stay aligned. You'll get immediate, early access to simple tools and clear teachings that help you see opportunities and resources that are currently hidden from most people. This is your chance to get the direct guidance, unwavering support, and fast progress you need to reach your true potential. Don't let this moment of readiness pass you by. Your breakthrough is just one click away. Join our Ready to Receive community immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is the simple way to ensure you always get the personalized guidance you need to elevate and empower your life exactly when you need it. If you want to go deeper and master this shift, The link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And if you feel like supporting this mission so we can reach more people who are ready, a link to buy me a coffee is there. Your support is always appreciated, but just showing up and focusing your energy is everything. Click the link. Your perfect timing is now.